I want to bring in Andersen Capital Management CIO Peter Andersen. It was really amazing to me, Peter, that the market, I guess I'm confused about what the market is thinking with regards to inflation. We knew that transitory was not the case, and the Fed kept saying that. Now that Powell has backed off of those words, but the markets, I don't think, have really reacted enough to what we've seen with the supply chain and the inflation. I would think that we would have had a bigger loss yesterday than we did. Why?
Well, I think people are just not really paying that much attention to what the Fed is saying and also what the numbers are saying. So if we get consistently strong numbers like this, which I personally think we will, then I think we're going to see people having to face the music. But, look at the 10-year Treasury. When you step back and look at the history of the 10-year, it is woefully at a low yield. So we need to get a little bit more sober about this in terms of what the outlook is going to be. And going forward, I would expect the 10-year Treasury to have to move up in yield because of all this strong demand. Once we reach, equilibrium, then I do think markets should be better off. But we are in a period right now. You said it was the 30-year high. Well, we also have 100-year, the worst in 100 years in terms of a pandemic. So all these regular rules of economics that we learned in college are pretty academic, and I don't think many of them can apply right now because it's such a murky picture. We're in the middle of recovering from this, and it's going to take some time.
With this record high inflation, you've got Bitcoin getting a boost. Now you've got market participants saying, and this is above, it's above 65,000 now, but it was above 69,000 yesterday. Peter, this is the hedge against inflation that many market participants are taking. What do you think?
Well, you can see me smiling because I think it's anything but a hedge against inflation. The only thing I would say Bitcoin hedges against is FOMO, fear of missing out. I mean, there's a lot of investors out there that just feel like because the price is moving up, that validates it as an asset class. And I've sent notes many times about how I am totally against Bitcoin as being an acceptable form of currency for a number of reasons. I mean, let me just give you the first one, which is currency has to be understood by everybody on the planet. Everybody of all walks of life. And I've done some pretty big, deep digging into the mathematics behind Bitcoin. You need a PhD in mathematics, frankly, to understand all that. So my question back to everybody that likes Bitcoin is, does anybody really understand it enough to endorse it as an asset class, let alone a currency?
Well, I think that's why a lot of people look at blockchain technology instead of Bitcoin, because that's the underlying technology of all of these, Dogecoin, Ether, etc. And you know what? Look at gold. Our viewers should look at what's happening with gold. There's your other hedge against what we're seeing with the markets right now. Peter Andersen, Peter, thank you very much for being here.